That's why some managers start asking questions, where is my breakthrough? And rightly, because as I said, it is a long process and it requires patience to get results over the years when you start harnessing passion and persistence of your staff. And then, it requires cultural change, which I will discuss later. But it is important to understand that you will not find very often that people will submit some significant idea on this ideation platform. So we thought, well, we need to go external to find breakthrough ideas. So we called it Open Innovation Sourcing. So, well, we started this journey with our Amplify Festival. Some of you may heard my attend, but this is the event where we, and probably unique in corporate world in Australia, where we have global experts in the field coming to AMP for 1 week and share their expertise with our staff and our leaders. And we invite other people as well, from outside AMP. Every 2 years we run this event where we try to understand what's going on in the world in some specific fields that can be relevant for us. And based on that, we created topics that we believe that we should shape our strategy based on this learning. So, for example, the result of one of these Amplify festivals was that we should start harnessing our staff passion about innovation and changes, and that's how we established crowdsourcing platform. Same thing with the Idea Lab, how they established this brainstorming. It came out from these kind of sessions. Our work on social media came out of these sessions. Trends in changing some financial behavior, customer behavior stuff came from this stuff. Necessity to focus on customer was also outcome from these things. But we thought, and when I mentioned customers, so we said, well, we would like to be a customer-centric organization, which is not common for our peers in industry. Because we have intermediaries and financial planners, and we believe that they should work closely with the planners. But we realized that we need to help them as well. That's why we established the design thinking team within the organization, and to go externally and understand customer experience and map this experience in order to have a better interaction with customer, create much more pleasant experience when they deal with us and with our planners, and actually help our people internally to design product and services in the way that would be more beneficial and valuable for customers. And remember what I said right at the beginning, to create value to our customer. But at the same time, we are creating value to our planners as well, in order to better and efficiently have interaction with our customers. And Sam talked about this yesterday, a lot about design principles and how much we need to be patient to get outcomes. And it is a hard job. We have and my colleagues talk about some of the outcomes from our design thinking yesterday about picture of tomorrow and how we help financial planners through this process to have a much more meaningful conversation with our customers. But that was the thinking of how to harness the experience and improve experience for the customer. But we also believe that there are other modules outside AMP world where we can actually leverage for our growth ideas. So one of them is we thought we need to have a closer relationship with universities. Well, last year we had a hub of an MBA graduates hub at AMP for 2 months. We just gave them space and invited them to work for us and say, well, can you explore the world for the businesses that don't exist in AMP? And then we organized workshops like this and discussed with them what did they find. And we were really surprised with the outcomes. And then now we are still leveraging what they actually provided us almost a year ago. We are leveraging that for shaping our strategy and understanding our growth, how we can push forward. But there is also another interesting area which we are exploring at the moment is a startup area. So as you know that all these startups are actually people who have all these 3 Ps. They are very passionate about innovation. They are very persistent when they need to push these things, and they need to be patient. What they are lacking is scalability for their business. But what we have a scalability, but we are lacking probably external view of the ideas, and that we thought we can partner together and help them to actually shape their business to the commercial level, which might be relevant for AMP, which might not be. Some of those that are relevant for AMP will be part of AMP, but those that are not, they can go on their own. So this is at the moment we are exploring this module actually to establish that within outside AMP, not within AMP. So, well, see, one thing is what we're saying. Well, we have a framework set, but the challenge is how we actually make sure that we are constantly implementing these ideas that we have. We realize that we need to change the culture. We need to actually work on changing the culture, but not just staff, probably more our middle managers, because they are a critical part of that process. And I will explain in our learnings why we think they are a critical part. So we started actually our journey changing the culture, actually influencing culture and focusing. One of our behaviors is creatively restless. And we, as an innovation team, we thought we should start generating initiatives which will help people to start thinking in different ways. What we realized also, if we go and say, well, you need to start innovating and putting these big words, people will be confused and scared. And we thought it would be more appropriate if we start with the very basic hygiene things, and then how we operate in corporate world. And then actually remind people that it is possible to start with small steps and do changes. And then, before we actually start and say, look, let's really do something significant. And then what we position here, a creatively restless culture would be like, we would like to encourage people to face reality with courage. We say, we want you to challenge status quo. And then it's nice wording, but the question is then, how am I going to do that? So to help people to go through this journey, we created a movement, what we call Shuffle Your Thinking, which is very catchy, especially with this shuffle song with global popularity. So, and we created Persona.
So as a way of encouraging more innovation here at AMP, we've engaged the world's leading consultant in innovation strategy. I'd like to introduce Mr. Shuffle.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to help you all shake things up around here.
Either you're going to shuffle your thinking, or I'm going to shuffle it for you.
Who's with me?
Dear Linda, are you free at 5 PM this afternoon to go over that planning document? Sincerely, Simon.
Dear Simon, unfortunately I have to pick up my kids this afternoon.
Guys, what are you doing? Shuffle your thinking.
Shall we just chat now?
Yeah.
No, Mr. Thompson, you're going to have to fill out the form. I understand your eyesight's bad, Mr. Thompson, but it's a part of company process.
Oh, please. What are you doing? You're just making his life more difficult. Shuffle your thinking.
And so, by the end of this presentation, you will see how the proposed idea for process change will be effective for customers and also planners. Just how effective, I hear you say?
Brucey, a 23-page PowerPoint presentation. How long did it take you to prepare this?
Oh, only a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks? You spent a couple of weeks putting together a PowerPoint presentation for a 1-hour meeting? Brucey, shuffle your thinking.
I was going to implement some of the changes that we had discussed last week, and then when I really started to jot down a few of the notes and some of the things that had inspired me...
Stop making excuses. Angelica, you got some great ideas. Speak up. I'm going to help you all shake things up around here.
Mr. Thompson, how about I fill out the form and I send it to you to sign?
To challenge the status quo.
Maybe instead of wasting all this time documenting, we could just implement them already.
to find better ways to do things,
We could get together next week when we have something to report.
and to face reality with courage.
I guess I could spend less time and summarise my point down to 3 sentences.
How you talking? That's what I'm talking about. Shuffle your thinking, everyone! My work here is done.
Okay, so
Now you're shuffling. Mr. Shuffles, out of here.
So if I just have 1 minute to explain it. So that's the small step that I was talking about. So actually, you can recognize these are the small things that we're asking people to start changing how they behave at work. And then, well, what we we launched this in November last year. We now created a movement with Mr. Shuffle, and people would refer in a meeting, so I wish Mr. Shuffle is here, I don't want to listen to this long presentation. So, and yeah, things like that. And we are now, with it, the last scene is saying Mr. Shuffle is out here, but you know, we are planning to actually ride on this initiative, what we have, to actually raise the awareness how important it is actually to start thinking about small things to make happen and make changes. That's what I was missing. So, then what I mentioned to you was very important, that we realized that building the bridge between our innovation framework and the culture that we're trying to change is something that we thought we need to create a body which will govern this. And with two main objectives. One is to help us to implement this framework, innovation framework, but at the same time to advocate this framework across the organization and relevance of and importance of that framework to people in their working space, that they can understand how they can leverage that for their business and improve their business. So that's why we created the Innovation Board. And it was quite an interesting exercise in the way that we didn't actually go and say, talk to leaders and say, can you actually handpick some people that are creative and innovative and things like that? We actually designed the pack, which was saying, we would like to establish an Innovation Board. Everybody is welcome to submit application, and we don't want you to have your CV. We just want to have one page on how you are going to make difference. You can do 1 page, or you can do a short video, PowerPoint slide, whatever. And then we said we put selection criteria into that, but at the same time we said you need to understand that it will take 10% of your time, which is 2 days equivalent every month, for these activities in Innovation Board. So then what we said also, that before you apply, you need to talk to your manager to make sure that you are aligned with the manager, because it will be part of your KPI. These 10% of your time will be part of your KPI. And as a return, if you perform these things well in our Innovation Board, we will give you some certain funding. We will allocate some certain funding to you for your personal leadership improvement. You can go to attend any business schools in the world, to have a 1 week, and just make sure that you are leveraging these things for your personal leadership development. So, well, it was fantastic attraction, and then we had when we announced this initiative, we had 1,400 hits on our website, internal website. So we had 42 applicants. Some of them, and we selected 9 people, and some of them are sitting here in the room, and more of them were yesterday at this conference. And that's the part of their personal development as well, to come to conference and listen to other people, what they do. But we also have specific tasks for them during the month. So now we have people from the board, they are responsible for our reward recognition program. We have people on board who are responsible for our innovation communication strategy, and so on and so on. That's what we believe, that we create value and why across the organization to make sure that we have enough awareness about this program across the organization. So let me just get quick